Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Build Your Best Life. I'm Coach Deborah, and I am super excited to have you here with us as always. And I have a very special guest with us today. He's no stranger to most of you. I have Elder James Terrell Sr.
Senior, yes.
How are you?
I am great. I'm great. Super excited. An honor, of course, as always, to be on. Definitely just looking forward to today's session.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on. We have an exciting topic for you today, but first, I want to just thank everyone for always getting on here, for your comments, your shares, your prayers. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And for those of you who may be viewing for the first time, this is a 501c3 nonprofit, and our objective is to teach teenage and young adult males how to overcome obstacles and build their best lives, as well as encourage our single mothers that are raising sons. Yeah. The information that we share, we have people to come on from every walk of life. We have therapists, counselors, educators, youth leaders, youth pastors, you name it, we have those people on here so that you don't have just my opinion on things, you have information from experts. So, always make sure that you come on and you share with us. Like I said, I can't wait to get into this topic, but before that, everyone may not know Elder Terrell, so just welcome back and just tell everybody about yourself. And, I think you and I kind of mentioned about this topic, but, I'm excited to get your insight on this 360-degree look at life.
Right. No, yes, ma'am. First of all, like I said a second ago, I'm definitely honored to be back. As always, an honor to be invited back on, and it's also a blessing to be able to share spaces like this, right, where we can have these real conversations about life, about faith, about growth, and really helping young men become clearer on who they are and where they're headed. And so I'm super excited. A little bit about myself. I am James Terrell Sr. I am a husband, father of two boys. So I'm raising sons, right? So this 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 movement to me is really important because I'm raising boys who are one day going to be men. I am a ordained minister at my church, St. Paul Church of Jacksonville. I am a correctional officer or sergeant, working the programs unit for our local sheriff's office. So I wear many different hats, but ultimately I am a follower of Christ who desires to help everyone to fulfill their purpose, to discover their purpose and be clearer on what that is and how they walk that out in their everyday life.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So thank you so much. So I just want to welcome Agnes, Dan, Curly. Thank y'all for tuning in. Deacon Holmes. Yeah, Grandma's on here.
Hey, Grandma.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about a 360-degree perspective, how life's lessons shape a young man's leadership. And one reason why I chose this topic for our guest today is because I've seen him grow up in church. And as he stated in his introduction, now, he's grown up, he's married, he works in correctional enforcement, correctional institute. He has two sons. And so I have seen him do the full circle. So I thought, hey, this will be an amazing topic to get your perspective on this. So I'm just going to jump right into it. So how did growing up with strong ethics influence the decisions you make today as a father and leader?
Yes, ma'am. No, I think that's a great question. For me, growing up and especially being instilled in me these strong ethics helped lay a strong foundation for me, right? Because I think foundationally, your ethics and your values have to be foundation. There has to be the foundation of who you are, everything you build upon. Because if you're trying to build anything, do anything, if your foundation isn't strong, then when you build it, ultimately it's going to come crashing down. And so growing up with these strong ethics that my parents and grandparents instilled in me were important because it helped me to build a strong foundation. That way, as I began to grow and began to serve and work in different areas, I had a strong foundation that kept me grounded. It helped me to keep focused, not be distracted by things that could have pulled me away or drew me aside, but I was instilled in me things that kept me rooted, kept me grounded, because I see the importance of it and the value of those strong foundations and how they made a difference in my upbringing and also my decision making, which ultimately helped me get to where I am and also to where I'm striving to go.
Also, that is amazing, and I love that. And as you were talking, I'm not sure why, but I began to see a building, and I thought about, when someone's building, whether it's a house or a high rise, whatever, that foundation means so much. I can remember a house on, I think that's Broward Road. But one day it was there, a new house, and the next thing I know, I saw it kind of like dipping sideways, but there was something wrong with that foundation.
Yeah.
So as you stated, that foundation means a whole lot.
Right. And just to piggyback off what you said, and I'm coming into my neighborhood, they're building something right now. And it's been a while where they've been, every time we go, it seems like nothing is happening. They just keep laying down dirt, keep laying down and going over with dirt. But I had the revelation once again yesterday that, man, they're building a strong foundation. They're getting it set. They're getting the ground set for whatever they're going to build upon it. And so, and I think also that shouldn't, and I hope I'm not jumping ahead, but that should encourage parents, right? Because sometimes it takes a while to build that foundation, that it may not happen right away. It may not happen quickly, but it takes a while to build that foundation. But as time goes on, and as you continue to work, as you continue to try, you put in that effort, you'll look up one day and that foundation will be solid. It will be, even if it seems or looks like nothing is happening or coming from it. Under the surface is building and it's getting stronger. So that was a great point.
That's a good point because it's like, and you'll find this, but when you teach your children and you're trying to put that foundation into them, sometimes they look like, can they just be quiet? I don't want to hear it. And so, you don't know if they're taking it in or they're paying you any attention or whatever. But then when they get to be adults, like my kids, now they are adults. And, I noticed both of them, the oldest and the youngest, I noticed them, they're always on time for work. They don't take off when they get sick or whatever. And I'm like, oh, so they were listening.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And they watch, they watch the example that you and your husband set, and I think that's also important because it's puts the weight on us as parents to make sure that we're being a great example, not just building the foundation goes beyond what we say. It's also about what we do and how we live and how we act and how we operate before them, because they're going to model the behaviors that they saw us do, And so even as a father, I'm even more kind of feel the weight and the urgency, right? Because I'm saying that my sons are watching me, even at 4, even at 1, that I have to be mindful of what I'm doing, so that the example and the life that I want them to live, I need to first live it myself.
Right.
Because they're going to watch it first, probably on more so than they listen to you.
That's right. Awesome point. Yes. So what lessons did working in your correctional institution teach you about choices, consequences, and second chances?
So for me, working in correction institution was definitely an eye-opening experience. I'll say that because it showed me pretty much just how one bad choice can literally change your entire life. Over the years, I've seen people who are honestly good people, but who have made bad decisions, bad choices, which have ultimately led to sometimes, in some cases, more bad choices. Or there are some people who made that one bad choice, which changed the trajectory of their entire life. And so it showed me the importance of the value of our choices, right? Because one choice can literally change your entire life, whether it be for good or for bad. So we have to understand that our choices do have power, and that where we are, what we do, what we're striving, it is important. But it also helped to shape my compassion, right? Because I had to grow to understand that behind every mistake that we make, there's a person who has a story, a person who has a family, a person who has potential for more, even beyond their mistake, even beyond their crime, even beyond their charge, that there's a person beyond that, right? And sometimes that person who is committing this crime or doing this thing is not just because they're a criminal. There's a story behind why they are what they are. There's a story behind the decisions they're making. There's a story behind, some of the things that they have done. And so I have grown to understand that we all have our unique stories and unique challenges, which ultimately lead to why we do some of the things that we do, whether it be good or bad. But beyond those choices, we have to understand, and beyond those things that we do have to understand that some decisions that we make out of it, of course, do come with consequences, right? Mm-hmm. And so we have to be mindful to understand that there are consequences behind our decisions. that are sometimes real and sometimes unavoidable. And so be mindful of those things that we do, and be mindful to deal with those things that lie beneath the surface sometimes, because the choices we make out of it sometimes can't be reversed. The words we say out of it sometimes can't be reversed. And so I've grown to understand that. And also, last thing, and I've discovered that all of us are one mistake away from being in that situation. Because I've seen all types of people in jail. I've seen all types of people from CEOs of companies to the homeless, right? But we're all one mistake away, one choice away from being in that place.
That's good. Just one mistake away, because some people that are free have done the same thing as someone that's incarcerated. They just
ain't
haven't
get caught.
caught.
They just ain't get caught. Listen, I'm telling you,
So,
really, seriously.
yeah. So it's it's important not to judge people either, because sometimes, like you say, people make a bad decision.
Right.
Or they just lost it, or they did something by accident, and it was just a mistake. But you can overcome those things. And that's one of the things that I teach here at Build Your Best Life. You can overcome obstacles. God will forgive you as many times as you come to Him and ask for forgiveness. So even though you're incarcerated, you can come out of that situation and turn that situation around and use what got you there to help someone else not go down that path.
Exactly. And that's the choice also that we can make, right? Like you said, like we don't have to be defined by our past. We don't have to be defined by our mistakes. That we can grow from it. We can make a decision that, hey, I made this mistake. This will not limit me. This will not define me. But I'm going to use what I did, use the lessons that I've learned to go and help someone else to choose a better path, or to guide them along the right path. And God is so amazing that He can use our mistakes. He can use our shortcomings. He can use our bad decisions and our tough past to help somebody else and to ultimately shape who we become out of it. So yeah, it's super, super important to remember.
Yes. And if you just joined us, we're having a great topic today, a 360-degree perspective, how life's lessons shape a young man's leadership. We have a shining example here. So thank you for tuning in. We'd love to see your comments. Just put them in the chat. So I just say pastor, but that's not that. You'll receive that, right? Elder Terrell, as both a youth pastor and I call you a young adult pastor, how has serving in ministry impacted the way that you mentor and guide young people?
No, yes, ma'am. Well, first of all, I think it's helped me to understand that everyone walks through a unique path, right? We all have a unique journey that we're walking. And so I can't approach everyone the same, because we're all walking a unique journey that's unique to ourselves. So I can't approach every young man or every young woman the same way, because there are different experiences or different paths that we're taking ultimately in life. So I have to understand, first of all, I've grown to understand that we're all walking a unique path, that it takes, of course, discernment, right? And how you help shape, how you mentor, how you have those conversations depending on who you're talking to. So sensitivity is something that I've grown to understand as important, because I can't, just like raising the children, right? You can't parent each child the same, because your children have unique personalities, and those unique personalities require unique approaches. And so that's one thing I've learned, and especially as it relates to ministry. Alongside that, I'm even growing to discover that ministry goes beyond, and mentoring goes beyond teaching lessons, right? It's also about walking alongside people. to walk with them, to listen to them, to be present with them. Because and it kind of goes back to what I said earlier, before people listen to you, they're going to want to see who you are.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes you have to walk out the process of being patient, of walking with people, walking with them throughout their journey, walking with them, being present with them before I'm able to instill certain lessons into them. And so I think especially as you grow to walk with people, it helps because you relieve the pressure of yourself to have all the answers. And also you go to understand that, hey, even if I don't have all the answers, hey, if I can model the life, if I can model what this thing looks like, I may not know everything to say, but hey, I can show you the effort. I can show you the persistence. I can show you the consistency. I can show you the integrity. I can show you what that looks like. And ultimately, you're going to follow my example, even if I don't always have the answers to speak to everything you may be facing, or everything you may be dealing with. And so I've grown to discover those things, especially as it relates to mentoring.
Yes, and you know, as we were talking about that 360-degree perspective, and we started out talking about you as a young person, and so you've grown and got older, but as you were, let's say, in the teen years, and then you're still a young adult, but you know, those people that have seen you and watched you, you have set such an example that, you know, I watch you, I see you, so I'm pretty sure there are days when you don't feel well. There are days when your mind is somewhere else. There are days when you
Right.
have just been studying, maybe with a sick child or whatever. But when I see
Right.
you, I always see the same James Terrell.
Right.
Never see anything different. So
Right.
people see that, and
Right.
that's what they want to follow. You are modeling, you know, that 360, that 360 that you have built is something that it is unique, it
Mhm.
is yours, but it was based on what that strong foundation that you started with, and you can
Yes,
see
ma'am.
that, and I can see how people gravitate toward you, and you know that's what we want to see. That's what
Right.
we need in our churches, in our youth programs, people that are modeling, not just standing up and talking to or saying things, but people that our young people can see modeling the behaviors that they're supposed to follow. So I thank
Right.
you for
Yes,
everything
ma'am.
you do.
No, thank you. Thank you. And I think you said something really important. You know, um, two things, right? Because you never know, you never know who's watching, right? And so when you say that, in my mind, I would never think, oh man, Coach Deborah is watching how I'm coming and how I'm presenting myself, right? But you never know who's watching. And so it's important, while we're not perfect, so I think that's first key to understand, but it is important to understand that somebody is always watching you. Whether you realize it or not, there's someone who is always watching you, watching how you respond, watching how you act, react, watching how you approach problems and situations. And so it's important to always at least try your best to be your best self. Even if you are having those moments, because there are some days I'm tired. There are some days I don't feel like it. There are some days I have been up with a child who was sick or didn't want to go to sleep, and I had to still come and give my best self. Why? Because the people who I serve, deserve it. And so I think it's important that you're modeling because you never know who's watching. And it takes you to have that one bad day for that person who you don't know who's watching you to say, okay, see, look, I knew it. And now they're discouraged and now they choose to go down their own path because they saw you, even when you did not know they were watching, make a negative decision, a bad choice. And like I say, no, we're not perfect, but at least strive every day to be your best, to live your best life.
That's right. Thank you so much. So now that you're raising two sons, how do you apply all these experiences to prepare them for their future lives?
So for me, my boys are young, but there has to be, I think, even at their age now, for me, there is this sense of urgency, right? Because, like I said, I'm raising boys, I'm raising sons, and so it's personal for me. Because as a man myself, I want them to be godly examples. I want them to be men who can walk in hopefully a legacy that I can build that is positive. And so it's personal for me, but also there's this sense of urgency because, man, the world starts young at tucking out our boys, start young. The world starts trying to pull them at an early age. And so I have to be intentional at an early age with them to instill in them these lessons even at a way that they can understand it. And then as they grow older, be more and more intentional about giving them these lessons that they I think that are important for them to face, especially as young men as they're living life and getting them to understand that hey, there are going to be challenges you're going to face. There are going to be things that you're going to want. There are things you're going to deal with. But hey, here's how you respond. Here's how you deal with it. This is why your faith is important. This is why your choices are important because look, even at 4, your choices have consequences, and I have to be intentional about that because as you grow older, you have to understand that you can make that one bad choice and that choice will have consequences. And just because you say, I'm sorry, doesn't mean you're going to get out of it. And so teaching and being intentional now, hopefully instilling, even if I don't realize that he may be getting it, hopefully believing that he is understanding that hey, life requires us to make good choices. And so as a father, trying to also learn how to balance right love and discipline or structure and also understanding that they're young, right, and that they're learning and that they're trying to figure out life, but also understanding that hey, as the father, I have to provide some sort of structure, and also as the father, I have to correct them, but also still encourage them, if that makes sense. And so, trying to balance all of these things, um, just understanding, hey, like I've seen the things that I've experienced in life, the mistakes that I've made, and hey, if I can help you avoid those things, it'll only give you one step ahead of where I am. Hopefully, you can be further than where I am, even at my age. And so, that's really it for me. Just being intentional and feeling the urgency to get them young because the world is trying at a young age to get our boys.
Thank you for that. Yes, we have to start early, train up a child
Yes.
as early as we can. Can't wait till they get in elementary school or middle school. You have to start when they are young. Because, again, as you said earlier, they're not just listening to the words, they're watching the actions.
100%.
Yes. All right. This has been such a great conversation. So, y'all,
Yes.
you share. Everybody, some people are working, doing other things, but make sure you share this so that more people can get this content. This is great information for, hey, all young men, young ladies as well as our mothers that are out there trying to raise sons, many of them on their own. So please share. Okay, so what advice would you share with young men and mothers raising sons about building character and purpose through every stage of life?
Yes, man. For me, my advice would simply be kind of goes back to what we said earlier. I'll stay in that vein to understand the power of not only our choices, but the power of our character, right? Understand the power of your character because you can be gifted, you can be skilled, you can be talented, and all those things may open certain doors for you. But if you have no character, you won't be able to stay in the room. So have a character that can keep you in certain rooms. Have a character that can be trusted with certain relationships. Have a character that can be trusted with certain people who will watch your life, who will follow you, who will support you. Because your skills, your talent, all those things means nothing if your character can't keep you or can't place you in certain places where you ultimately can be trusted to walk in the purpose that God has for you. And just understand that you're not going to stumble upon purpose, right? No, you're going to make decisions now that are going to help walk you to that place. You're going to make decisions now that are going to evolve and shape you and mold you into who you're going to become. You're not going to accidentally become successful. It's going to come with decisions and those values and that foundation that we spoke about earlier, building upon those things. So being clear on what your values are, being clear about your faith, and letting that be your foundation. Because it's not going to happen on accident. It's going to happen with us being intentional. And to those parents, to those mothers out there, just be encouraged, right? That your love, your prayers, your guidance, to that work and that effort that you're trying, while it may not, you may not see it right now, please understand that it is making a difference. That it is seeds that's being planted. Because one day, that son of yours is going to take those lessons, take that love, and is going to influence his family. He's going to influence his community. He's going to influence his world based upon the effort that you made, even when it didn't always seem like it may have been working.
Awesome. That is so good. All right. That character is so important. The power of your character. I think that's the first time I heard it put in that perspective, but I like that. The power of your character. Right. That can take you a long way in life.
Yeah. It's important. I'm telling you, it makes a difference. It makes a difference.
Yes. All right. Well, this has been like I said, this has been an awesome topic. Your candor, being open, your transparency, all of that has been amazing. So thank you for that. And again, everyone, please share this content. So as we prepare to close, is there something that you would like to leave with our audience, or something else that you may have thought of?
Ultimately, just stay committed, right? Stay committed to the process. This whole thing is a journey. This whole thing is a process. And so just stay committed, stay encouraged. Whether you're that parent who has a son that you're trying to help discover, and they're making these negative choices, just continue to do your part. Continue to give that love, give that prayer, give that effort, and stay encouraged. And if you're that young man who's trying to discover, man, what does life look like? What does purpose look like? Just keep trying, and don't allow your mistakes to define you or limit you. But understand that through God, you can grow beyond whatever you do, whatever mistakes you make. If God loves you enough, he'll pull you out of it and help you to become your best self, even in spite of what some people may try to bury you by.
Yes. Your test can become your testimony.
Yes, it can. Amen. Now you better preach, Coach.
Yes. So thank you so much. And thank everyone for tuning in, because you could have been anywhere else. So we love it. Please tune in Thursday, October 2nd. I can't believe it's October already. For our Let's Talk About It segment. And it's going to be Tanya. Tanya is moving from fourth Thursdays to first Thursdays. And so our topic is going to be Dance Your Way to Confidence. Dance your way to confidence. So I'm looking forward to that. So please join us. That's at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 5:30 Central Time. So we would love to have you here. Again, thank you so much, Elder Terrell. I really appreciate you
Yes,
taking the
ma'am.
time because I know you are busy. So I appreciate it so much.
Yeah, I thank you for having me. I really do appreciate it. This is always a good time. And that was a good time to be able to share and hopefully impact someone to encourage them. So I'm thankful for the opportunity. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Remember, building your best life is our business. That's not a slogan. It's our commitment. I love you. Be blessed. Stay safe. I hope to see some of you on Thursday. And James, you and your family be blessed. Good
Yes,
night.
ma'am. You too. Good night.